Everyone, today I want to talk to you about how to get started with repurposing your social media content. So it's a lovely Friday morning. I think it's due to be the hottest day of the year. It's just past 9 o'clock in the morning and it's absolutely scorchio. So it's really hot, which is nice. I'm heading to the beach today, so well earned day off. But before I get cracking with the subject at hand, just giving you my update on my injury. Those of you who've been watching daily will know about 3 or 4 days ago I tore my calf muscle. When I say tear, it's a minor tear. It was definitely a tear because I felt it. And I've been talking about injury mindset, and I said at the beginning of these vlogs for the first minute or so, I'll just give you an update on where I am. Well, yesterday, if you watched my episode, I just finished my injury update. I was very optimistic. My pace was back, not as quick as I normally run, but it was back up to what I classify as, in the 5 minute K type bracket. And morning, and I was feeling really good. And then as soon as I finished that and I started doing my vlog episode, you'll see a moment where it just goes again. So when I say goes, I'm nursing it very carefully. The thing is with a calf injury and a calf tear is you have to continue to stretch it and to continue to work it. Otherwise it will heal contracted. Because when something, when you get a muscle tear, what generally happens is the muscle contracts to heal. So the muscle rejoins and it stitches itself together. And the issue is if you don't keep it stretched out or keep it loose, it will actually heal shorter than it was originally. What that means is that when you start exerting it and stretching again, it's a weak point. So I've been nursing myself back here. Where I'm running today, I'm running at 7 minute 20 K pace. So yesterday I was in the fives again, which was too quick, way too quick. I was making really good progress up until I pushed it too hard yesterday. So my new strategy will be I won't be going quicker than maybe 6.5 minute K max for at least a week. I think I've got to be sensible with this, otherwise it ends up knocking you back. And generally speaking, had a minor tear. If you tear it again during the recovery period, the recovery will probably be pushed back by another week. So you can't afford too many mishaps. So yesterday was a bit of although I was very productive at work, I was quite snappy yesterday. I was a bit annoyed, a bit down on the fact that I'd been silly enough to push myself too quickly. And I knew what I was doing, but I just wanted to push it. And it's the same principle of when I talked to you about my marathon running and my first ever London marathon. I did my first 10k way too quick, and people have told me not to exert myself too quickly, but it's one of those things that but you can't help yourself disobeying, if that makes sense. So that's my update, but I'm going to the beach again today, so I'm going to do another little very gentle run on the beach later, and I'll do another episode for then, which will be nice. But back to today's topic. So it's all things marketing today, and this is a question that quite a lot of people have. Well, having now done this I think I'm just about 12,000 followers now. So it's really good. I think when I started doing this, which is about a month ago, this vlog, I was probably around, I don't know, they're certainly well under 10. So it's people have taken note of this, and my following has grown pretty significantly in the first month. So I'm really happy with how this is going. Feedback's been really good. I've got lots of ideas for how to make this better in the future. But one of the biggest challenges that I believe people are going to have, or people have said to me, is the amount of time it takes to repurpose their social media content. And I think I've been upfront and honest with everybody that I didn't really know what this vlog was going to do when I started it. It was just a challenge. But as I'm putting the systems and processes in place to repurpose my content, as I optimize it and get it ready for the market, the end game will be a social media agency where I'll do this for clients so they can drop their content into a shared folder, and then my team of VAs will repurpose it everywhere. We'll format it to the right formats for the different platforms, and they'll also, sorry, it's really windy, and then also post multiple times a day, depending on what level of subscription you do, and it will take none of your time. And that's really important, because when I've been setting this up, the countless hours I've spent on this, and if I was doing it myself, I mean, it takes up it's a full-time job, just getting your content out there. And I'm only just started into phase 2 now, where I'm starting to optimize content for different platforms. I'm working on Instagram at the moment, so I'm going to start posting out infographics and imagery and stuff rather than just IGTV, long form video, which is where it all began. So, morning. So if I was going to explain where I would begin, if I was doing this, if I didn't have a team around me, okay, I've got a team around me, so now this content repurposing at the moment, I'm still developing it, but I just drop my video file into my Google shared drive, and the team of VAs edit the video, get it all right for different platforms, do all the descriptions, the titles. They start the engagement off as well with some engagement hacks. And, I've had videos now that since the beginning have achieved well over 2,000 views. The most I think I'd ever had before this was about 500. So this vlog and all the hacks I'm doing is really starting to get extra reach. Following's growing and everything. So it all works, but the time it takes to do it right, don't underestimate. So that's point one. So if I was starting, I didn't have a team. If I was one man band, getting started in business, but I realised the value of personal brand, what would I do and how would I approach it? Well, the first tip, and this is the key point here, is don't try and do what I've done and just put your content everywhere. I've done it this way, even though I know that my content isn't necessarily optimized for all the different platforms. To begin with, I wanted to get a bit of a presence on each platform before I then start working the optimization of each platform. But the time it takes to do that, the return's not there for somebody who's just starting out. I'm just doing it just to get a bit of a fill my profile a little bit, so that when people do click on it, they'll see that I'm not just somebody brand spanking new, but somebody who's been doing it for a little while. So that was always in the game plan for me. But the return on my Instagram and TikTok stuff, for example, and LinkedIn's starting to grow now actually, but initially I was getting like 10s, 20s, 50s in the views, which you're not getting any traction with. Whereas my Facebook stuff, every video will, over the course of time, will creep above 1,000 plus. The better videos will get 2,000 plus and still grow because of all the hacks and stuff and the algorithms. So Facebook is the platform that I know the best. It's the one that we grew systems and outsourcing on more so than any of the others. The others I'm still learning, but I'm not trying to commit to too much too soon in the optimization. I'm just focusing on Instagram next, and then I'll move on to YouTube, and then I'll move on to LinkedIn. So I'm going through them, and this is multiple weeks on each platform to kind of optimize it, and put the systems and processes in place so the VAs can do it for me. But for somebody starting that team, my first recommendation is spend 80% of your time on one platform. So not, when I say 80%, or 80% all of your time, but the time you're devoting to social media, content publishing, and repurposing, focus 80% of your time on one platform. And then the remaining 20, you might have a little look at other platforms as well. Okay, so it's really, really important that you consider this, because otherwise you'll end up just getting yourself overwhelmed. So many things to learn. They're all different, complex platforms. Yeah, okay, the interface is pretty easy to use, but understanding the intricacies of each platform is an absolute mission. So apply the 80-20 rule. So spend 80% of your time on one platform. And the question to ask yourself when you do this is, where does my potential target market most likely to hang out? Start with that platform. If you haven't got one that you already favourite with. But even if you have got a favourite, really consider where your target market hangs out. And, for example, if I was working on teenagers, I'd be all over TikTok. But, I've grown a business already on Facebook. So I know the mechanism, I know the processes, which is why I'm continuing on Facebook. But like I say, I've been on Facebook for years, so I know quite a lot of cool hacks and stuff. I've done some other videos and stuff that will help you if Facebook is your platform. And I will update you all on all the hacks and algorithms and the results and stuff on the other platforms as I move through this process. But really, really important, just focus on one predominantly. And all I would do with the remaining 20% is just perhaps once a week or so put something on the platform, just so you're starting to build a little bit of a profile, so that when you do start repurposing content, you're not doing it from a standing start. So you might get a little bit of traction by doing that. But don't focus on optimizing all the platforms, because you just won't have the time or the energy to do it. So just try and focus on one and learn one. the next step is find somebody who's an expert in that platform and learn. Now, easy little cool hack here is just go into some groups where it's the topic is in question. So there'll be hundreds of Facebook marketing groups, for example, and just write in there, anyone looking for some help, someone to get started with this. And explain you haven't got a budget to spend if you haven't got a budget to spend on training, and you'll get pushed through to loads of people that provide loads of really cool free training, and that will be more than enough to get you started. Okay, and so it's easy to learn, but it will take a long while to go through all the training and then implement it. You can't do everything. I mean, my general rule is, however long I think it will take, double it, and you're more likely to be, accurate or realistic with expectations, and that should be the rule for you guys as well. So definitely learn that platform. Find somebody who can teach you. If you find someone who's not selling courses, who's just happy to give you a hand, even better, because there's no upsell or anything that you've got to be scared of. The problem is when you get into this stuff with people, if you haven't already in the back of your mind understood the fact that you're going to have to invest in your education here, which I strongly recommend you do, but I appreciate that not everybody has the funds available to do this. So this is for people if you're absolutely starting out. If you've got funds to invest, find the best course you can get on it and learn from the best. It just completely, supercharges or expedites the process for getting success on these platforms. Because there are some people that have been doing this for years. So if you can, but if you haven't, like I say, find the free trainings, or find someone who's prepared to just give you some tips and some guidance along the way, hold you accountable, all that side of things, because that will get you to the next stage a lot quicker. And so that's pretty much my advice on this. But it's really, really key, because if you jump in too deep too quick, you'll get overwhelmed and you'll fail. And like I say, if I was really concerned, if I was saying, well, I'm going to go and build a following on TikTok, and I've just plastered out minute clips of my videos onto TikTok, and I'm getting very little traction, so I don't really understand the platform yet. I'm just trying to get a bit of a presence before I optimize it a little bit further down the line. Like I say, I've been getting 20s and 50s, and I think I've had maybe 270 views, which is the best view on one of my little clip videos. I would be starting to get despondent, thinking, oh, this platform doesn't work, and I would probably park it. But the fact is, the matter is, I'm completely aware I haven't optimized it, and I'm aware of my expectations are already set for what I'm doing. So I'm not going to disregard it. But all my attention was on Facebook to begin with. It's now being moved across to Instagram, and I'm nearly at 500 followers now, that I've grown from about 80 something in the past couple of weeks. So I'm really starting to supercharge my Instagram profile growth, and that's really, really cool. And I'm learning from Chris Taylor, who's one of my business partners, and he's got nearly 40,000 Instagram followers or something along those regions. So he's grown a really cool profile, and he gets a lot of business from his Instagram. So I will update you on the findings and the experiences from this program, but I'm still a couple of weeks to go before I finish the 1,000 followers in 30-day challenge. So I'll update you there. So to summarise, 80-20 rule: understand where your target demographic, target market hang out, focus on that platform first. Spend 80% of the time that you are going to invest into your social media content, and focus on that single platform for 80% of the time. The other 20% is just post the odd post, maybe once a week or so, just to start building a bit of a presence on the other platform, but do not focus on it. It will distract you, and it will slow your progress. Number two, if you're not familiar with the process or the posts, find some Facebook groups or some groups on some other social media platforms that specialise in that area. So Facebook marketing, LinkedIn marketing, YouTube channel growth, whatever. Find a group of people that specialise in that. Ask for help. Explain your situation. You just started. Explain if you've got no budget to invest in training, anybody prepared to help you. I guarantee you there'll be someone to help you. I mean, I help people now. I don't charge anything. There's a 14-year-old guy from the US who's starting on his journey, and he's reached out to me, and I feel obliged to give as much help as I possibly can, because I'd love to be 14 again, starting my own business ventures rather than doing all this stuff at 38. So I always help people where I can, and there's a lot of other people out there to do it. And I think the other thing is to understand as well is if you it's amazing just by overcoming that obstacle of asking, the response is normally far better than you would have previously expected. There's a lot of people that will help you out there, if you don't ask, you're missing out. So ask in some groups, find somebody who's either going to give you a helping hand and guide you, depending on your budget, or if you've got budget, invest in the best and learn. It will expedite your process and get your return a lot quicker. So hope that helps and give you some good insights into how to get started with this. But do it, take action, because if you don't, this is something that once you get the wheels in motion, you get the engine purring, it works for you. I mean, I've got videos now. I think this is my 61st, 62nd episode I'm recording. I think we're published a couple of weeks behind, so we're in the mid-40s on the publishing front. But my videos at the very early stage are still trending, are still picking up views every day. And I did that work once, and it's now out there and it's working for me every day. So don't underestimate the impact of the compounding reach that it will get as you continue to hack and continue to push your content out there. So yeah, hope you found it useful. As always, any questions, drop me a comment. My guarantee is I'll always respond to every comment. If it's a bigger topic, I'll still respond, but I'll do a more detailed response in a separate vlog episode, and I'll tag you in. If you think this is good value, please like or share it. It'd be most appreciated if you think it will give other people some useful value. Tag other people in if you think they're going to benefit from it. And if you're on other channels, please subscribe to obviously be made aware of when I put content out, because in the future I'll be putting unique content out to each platform, so it's useful being on each. And finally, if this really annoys you and you don't want to see it, just either unfollow or unfriend me, and you'll stop seeing all this stuff appearing in your feed all the time, because I know it can be pretty annoying if it's irrelevant content to you. So hope that's useful, and as always, stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you on the next episode.